So here's the Yamaha Raptor 700R. This quad is going to get a new chain and new sprockets, and I'll show you how to do that. There is a progression to how you want to do this though. So first step is you actually want to remove the nut, or at least loosen it up from the front sprocket there, because you want to be able to use the chain to hold that in place, okay? Because if you remove the chain first, then nothing is really going to hold that from turning other than just the engine. This way you can use the rear brake if you need to. I'll use an impact, which will be a little bit easier. May not need to spend that much or use that much force, but if you're using a breaker bar, you may need a second person to hold the rear brake while you torque on that a bit. Or if you leave the tires on, you can put it in gear, and then that'll also be another option too. All right. There are tabs on this to help keep that from rotating while you are riding. So I recommend using an older screwdriver, one that you can tap on. Kind of get in there and just tap on the end of that screwdriver, and then you can start to pry it away. Mine was pretty tight though, so I had to tap on it before I could get in there at all. Okay. All right, so I got it started to separate away a little bit. Just kind of tap on that a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of get it sort of flat because we want to reuse that. All right. It's a pretty big socket to get that thing off. This is 36 millimeters. You want to make sure that you have those flat enough that you can get good purchase on that. All right. And an impact should make this a little bit easier. We'll see how much effort I need to do. It's tightening, so first make sure you're going the right way. Right. Tells me we're going to have to use the rear brake here. So rear brake applied, and that's all there is to it. So with an impact, it's easier to much easier to do it. And if you're one person, that's probably the only way to go. And that's going to come off, and then we can move on to the back. All right, so here we're going to get the chain off. What to do, first get your eye protection on, and then we're going to grind one of these links. There is no master link on this chain, so you have no choice but to remove a link by grinding these off. The only other option, if you want to take it off in one piece, is to remove the swing arm, but there's no point in doing that since this chain's not going to get used again. So get a grinder, Dremel tool, anything you want to use. All you have to do is just grind these two down. You can see I've done it on this one here. So basically just like this. And I chose to do it over the sprocket because if you do it here, there's a little bit more motion on the sprocket. It holds it in place. So then what I did next, so I already started to kind of break this apart, but I used a big older screwdriver, again, one you can kind of tap on a little bit, keep this chain on the sprocket so it holds it in place, and then I kind of tapped in like this. Now I should tell you though, there is a tool to do this. It helps push these pins through, but you know, we try to do things without spending extra money that we don't need to. So that is an option, to keep that in mind. But this works pretty good too. You can see it's coming off without too much stress. There it is. Now we can, just like a master link, I can push that through. See? You can see those O-rings. This one's starting to get on in age a little bit. Plus I'm going to change the gearing a little bit. So here we are.